Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Strircles from Zentangle. This Molly does say in the newsletter, which that link is in the For More Inspiration, where it says that in the description section. She says it is a tongue twister, and that it is. It's like circles, and then I just kept saying circles in my head, and then but so replacing the C with S with a stir, you know. It's yeah, it's just funny. All right, I'm gonna start off because as I was playing, I've done this one a long time ago. This is an oldie but a goodie, and I'm gonna do this a little bit different because you get the idea of filling in, and so but I thought, well, I want to try it with using a tangle. So it starts off with lines however you want them. Oh, and let's not use that pen. Let's use one that has, yes, some nib left to it. All right, and I'm just gonna draw them kind of like that. They can, it's up to you however you want to draw them. I like to practice having some flair because I have to practice it. All right. Once you have your lines set, then let's put a little one up here. All right. Then it's just orbs. However you want them, wherever you want them. They can be like, okay, here's a partial one like that. Okay. We'll leave it at that. All right. Oh, well, no, that's this is they got this big empty space here. Let's put a little one. All right. Then the instructions. Well, the instructions show where you would alternate filling in. And so what I'm going to do, because she also in the variation she shows using crescent moon. I'm going to use print tops, I think, because I like that one, and it has a really really neat look. Um, so we're gonna try that, and I do and it'll be the same process if you just want to do the fill in. So just so you know. All right. So pick, and I'm gonna call these rows. So or depends on which way, row, column, whichever way you look at it. We'll call it a I don't know. I'll decide. I'll probably interchange it. Um, yeah. Let's call them rows. All right. And so, well, you know what? And I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to. Oh, maybe I'm going to do my print tops a little bit differently. I usually start on the inside, but when you're doing them right next to each other, like this is how I'm wanting to do it. It's a lot easier if you start from the outside and then go in, because I just want to kind of have a single row. That's my thought, and I'll fill in, this outside because it's nice to do that. And we'll call this, yeah. Okay. So here's the trick. Just looking at the row. So row, skip a row, next row. Let's see if I can make this. Well, I think it'll. Well, okay. I'm going to go from the inside because it's such my habit. Okay, that works. And then I'm doing the hollabow technique there. And just so you know, I just decided to do it this way because I was like, well, I can just do the fill in again. And just play with that and have that be the demonstration. But I thought, well, let's do a little bit extra this time. So every once in a while, it's kind of fun. And you could put any tangle that you want here. And again, and we're not going inside the orbs. We're just sticking with the row itself. And then, like I said, let me make this a little bit nicer. So then skipping this one, and then we're here. And actually, well, I started it one way. I shall finish it that way. I was thinking, since some of these are kind of big, and I'm thinking, oh, I could do multiple print humps in a section. I don't have to just do one and have them, kind of, go with the size of the section that I have. But since I started that way, I'm going to finish it that way. All right, let's put that a little closer. There we go. I like using the hollabout technique with the print humps because that way you can kind of get them squished together really nice and not have a bunch of gaps. Okay, then we would skip this row. Oh, and let's put a little one right here. All right, there we go. We'll fill in that. All right. Then we're going to come back on. So the rows that we skipped, we're going to we would then fill in inside the orbs. So, and that's all we're going to do. Okay, so I'm just, what the heck? Let's just do a big one. And I should move this so you can see. And then I just continue with the hollabout like that. And then we'll fill in the little end pieces. And then this side, so it's almost like you have to check every row. Okay. So let's get this here. All right, then skipping this row because it's kind of already done. Then the next row and just focusing in on what's on the inside of the orb. That's the only place we're doing. Now, because you could think of this sort of as like Knight's Bridge because we're sort of doing every other one, but not really because, I mean, it's like we are and we aren't. But here you have a big section. So if you were just focusing in that way, it might not work out. So this is where focusing in on the row or column, depending on whichever way you want to think about it, that works best because then it's like, okay, in the row, oh, here's another, that's how I would think about it. Here's another section. And here. And then, oh, you can barely see that. Okay. And, oh, then it would be here. So we're skipping this because that we did the row. Then the next one, we're doing the orb inside. And that's it. That is it. So now I want to add some shading in on this, and part of me is like, okay, well, it was a good thought, but I don't know if I like it. But let's see if the shading fixes things. And I'm putting the graphite along the original pen lines. All right. And well, I'm just going to start in the middle. And I'm just going to do a back and forth motion because I don't want to spread too far. I want to create, though, a nice gradient. Yeah, sort of doing it. This it's looking grainy, but I think it is the paper. Oh, but you can see. Yeah. Oh yes. How? Okay, I'm happy now. It was just like, okay, that looks really sloppy, and I'll tell you what. It proves. I've said it many times here. If this is the first video you've watched, or maybe because I don't say it every single time. Don't give up on your tangle until after you've hit the shading. And just this is a little side note because I had asked about, you see there's like a texture here, and it depends. Apparently this shows up depending on at what's when they start like a new run, I guess, of the paper. And okay, I'm happier. That's cool. Let me show you. This is how it would be otherwise. And I did a little bit of shading on this and not too much. Um, I'll use what's left here. We'll do the same, just light. This because there's so much ink on this one. It was like, oh yeah. Yeah, that just kind of made it all dark. But you get the idea. Neat. Neat. So you can use, any fill in tangle or just fill it in solid. Completely up to you and what you're looking for. I personally like to have, let's see, I'm using the other end of my tortilla and I want to pick up some of this graphite. It's really weird. It's, we don't use, I particularly I don't like to use the E word on my tangles because it's like I like to just, see what happens. And it's okay. Like I said, it just kind of made it a little bit dark all over, but that's all right. I can think of something else that might spruce it up. That that fixed it. Okay, I'm looking at the camera, and that's what it was. It was a shadow. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, don't give up on your tangle till after it's all the way done. Shading, everything, find ways that you might be able to course correct. Don't worry about it. And then do some shading and then see. And sometimes I just won't look at it for a little while and then come back and then go, oh, well, who did that? That's amazing. It's so funny. But yeah, all right, I like that. So, like I said, you can use any kind of tangle that you want or texture. It's just rather neat. But classic is just that, classic. And it's nice to have things that have high contrast in your Zentangle work. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like. And if you want to click like, even if you didn't really like it, thank you. It helps the algorithm. Um, Feel free to share it, leave comments, and if you like me enough to see more, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel. In the description section, I mentioned there's links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then I link to the originator of the tangle. That's why I call it the For More Inspiration, because they generally, and especially Zentangle, puts in lots of samples and just nice ideas on how you could use it, and you never know what that might stir up something else. Who knows? Below that, ways to connect with me. I have a link to my website. You'll find where I teach classes online. I do almost twice weekly, and most of them are free. I do have some that are paid though, and I also have a club membership. So if you really, really like it, then you can take a look at that, and for lots of fun. And below that, if you happen to be on Facebook, we have an absolutely fantastic group of Tangle addicts that in our Tangle Addicts community, and we have a lot of fun. We like to, everybody, for the most part, I know that there are some lurkers, and that's okay. We love for everybody to share their work. It doesn't don't worry about what you think it looks like. We want to celebrate with you. It's not about taking it to the fair, as my friend Diane says. Or no, she'll say, well, yeah, well, it's not one for the fair, but I'm happy, and that's what it's about. It's about you being happy, you creating, you finding, release, relaxation, whatever it is that you need. You can, a lot of times you can find it with this amazing form of art. So would love to have you join us there too. So with that, thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.